Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study, 2 Kings chapter 21. If you'd like me to come speak at your church or if you have any questions, you can email me at godsohman@gmail.com, or you can just comment below. So at the end of 2 Kings 20, we found out that Hezekiah died and Manasseh took over. It says that Hezekiah slept with his fathers and Manasseh his son reigned in his stead. Now, as we look on this chart here, we can see that Hezekiah, he was a good king. In fact, he was one of the few kings that actually tore down all the altars. There was other good kings, but they never tore down the altars. But he finally was one of the kings that said, you know what, I'm going to do what's right and tear down the altars. Then his son Manasseh took over. And as you can see here, he was a bad king. It says, 2 Kings 21, verse 1. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 50 years in Jerusalem. And when his mother's name was Hephathah, and he did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. For he built up again the high places which Hezekiah his father had destroyed, and he reared up altars for Baal, and he made a grove, as did Ahab king of Israel, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served them. And he built altars in the house of the Lord, at which the Lord said, in Jerusalem I will put my name. So Hezekiah tore down all the altars to Baal, and his son Manasseh decided to go ahead and build them up and worship multiple different altars. And he put altars in the house of the Lord, and the Lord said, Jerusalem, I'll put my name. So the question is God's name in Jerusalem? Well, the Hebrew letter Shin in the symbol is a symbol for God, and you can see it right here on the side of the building. It's like a trident or three fingers. You can kind of see it right there in the corner, and I'll show it closer up here in a second. In Numbers 6:27 it says, and they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. 1 Kings 9:3 says, the Lord said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and thy supplication, and thou hast made before me, and I have allowed this house which thou hast built, and I will put my name there forever, and mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually. So God says he put his name in Jerusalem forever. 2 Chronicles 33:7 says, and he set a carved image, the idol which he made in the house of God, and which God said unto David, to Solomon his son, in this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen before all the tribes of Israel, I will put my name in there forever. Well, if you look at this little thing from Wikipedia, it says that Shin is the 21st letter of the Semitic Ajax, including the Phoenician Shin, Hebrew Shin, Aramaic Shin, Syriac Shin, Arabic Shin, and its sound value is a voiceless sibilant, or the Phoenician letter given to rise of the Greek Shema. The letter Shin in the Galgoic and some of the scripts, and the word Shin kind of goes shh, 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 like you would think, the way the English says the sh is shh. It's kind of like a quiet, shushing. You can see it's voiceless. So on this little chart here, it shows that this is the letter for Shin, and you have Jewish values at the bottom, and it branches out three ways, and you have academic rigor, character development, and leadership. So off that academic river, you see divergent thinking from the academic rigor. You have the character development, we have leadership, and these are all considered Jewish values. And you can see here on the chart here different ways that people use it in print, Shin or Sin. Here's the print. You can see this little dot right here on top, and that's going to come in handy later on. And in the word Shin or Sin, it's over on the other side, and they both have the word Shin. It's just kind of the way that they pronounce it. So all over, you can find pictures of the Shin, and they're all kind of written slightly different, but you can see they're basically the same letter. And here's Sin Shin at the bottom there. And sometimes they have these little three lines coming on top, but sometimes they don't. So Shin, the sound makes a sh, as in sheep. And you can see how it's written in ancient Hebrew, in modern Hebrew, in Rashi Shrift, and the Torah Scroll Ship. And it says Shin is a letter with a dot on the right. Sin is a letter with a dot on the left. In a non-vocalized words, the reader has to kind of guess. So you can kind of see here that the word shin kind of looks the same. But we're looking at that middle one there. You have the 3 lines and you have that dot on top. Again, that's going to come handy here in a second. And a lot of the priests would actually put up their hand and do the fingers like this to kind of make the letter shin with their hands. And I don't know if you ever saw Star Trek or not, but Spock is known to do this a lot. And he always says, like, live long and prosper type of thing. Well, it says here that, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he lift up his face and shine light upon you, and may be gracious to you and give you peace. It says Shaddai is a Hebrew name for the Lord. The temple priests would hold up their hands in this position to give the benediction. So you make these three things with your hand to make the word shin. And you can see here Leonard Nimoy, when he does his speech, he puts his hands up like that. And in this picture here, of course, you can see he's putting his hands up like that. And it's basically just a way to basically use the Lord's name, or to say live long and prosper, or to, God's always going to be with you. So you can see shin and shin. We're going to close up on that right-hand side down there. It says, employing the letter that once alluded to the teeth or sharpness. Some sin shin words still allude to oral or function of the mouth, to the power of the teeth. So you can see lip, prince, princess, ruler, dominion, to incise, scratch, or write, to burn. You can see the ask, or almighty, return, cry out, sing, completeness, or peace. And they all have this shin symbol inside of all of them. So again, these are the little characters that you see online. In Psalms here, it talks about, thy word all the time in the Bible. And if you look here in Jerusalem, it makes this little like shin, if you look at the little valleys there. So the Mount of Olives is divided into 2 halves. You have the northern and south. And the Mount of Olives is where Jesus is going to come back. And the Valley of Jehoshaphat kind of separates that a little bit. And you can see the shin inside of there. And if you look at this, remember we talked about the shin is the 3 little fingers coming up. And there's a dot on top. But that dot on top is where the temple is. So God has written his name in Jerusalem, shin, with the dot on top where the temple is. And you can see right here the different values here. And make sure you watch the spot there at the top, right here. Because when a treaty is made to allow the Jews to rebuild their temple, right there is where they're going to build it at. And that's when you need to start the clock of Daniel 9:27, or the 7-year tribulation. So sometimes Yeshua, which is the name for Jesus, is written like this. You have the shin, and there's a crown on top of it right there, as you can see. 2 Kings 21:6. He built altars for all the hosts of heaven in the 2 courts of the house of the Lord. And he made his son pass through the fire, and observed times, and used enchantments, and dealt with familiar spirits and wizards. He wrought much wickedness in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. He set a graven image in the grove that he made for the house, in which the Lord said to David and to Solomon his son, in this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, I'm going to put my name forever. Neither will he make the feet of Israel move any more out of the land which I gave their fathers, only if they will observe to do according to that I have commanded them, and according to all the laws that my servant Moses commanded them. But they hearkened not, and Manasseh seduced them to do more evil. And they did the nations whom the Lord destroyed before the children of Israel. And the Lord spoke by his servants the prophets, by saying, because Manasseh the king of Judah has done these abominations, and has done wickedly above all the Amorites did, which were before him, and made Judah and also to sin with his idols. Therefore thus saith the Lord God of Israel, behold, I am bringing such evil upon Jerusalem and Judah, that whosoever heareth it, both his ears shall tingle. And I will stretch over Jerusalem the lines of Samaria, and the plummet of the house of Ahab. And I will wipe Jerusalem as a man wipeth a dish, wiping it and turn it upside down. And I will forsake the remnants of mine inheritance, and deliver them into the hands of their enemies. And they shall become prey and spoils to all their enemies. because they have done which was evil in my sight, and provoked me to anger, since the day their fathers came out of Egypt, even to this day. Moreover, Manasseh shed innocent blood very much, until he had filled Jerusalem from one end to the other, besides his sin wherefore he made Judah to sin, in doing that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. Now the rest of the acts of Manasseh and all that he did, and the sins that he sinned, are they not written in the books of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? And Manasseh slept with his fathers, and was buried in the garden of his own house, and in the garden of Uzzah, and Amon his son reigned in his stead. So you can see here, Manasseh was a bad king when he passed, and then Amon's going to take over, and he's also going to be a bad king. Amon was 22 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 2 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Mushmaleth, the daughter of Haraz of Jabtop. And he did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, as his father Manasseh did. And he walked in all the ways which his father walked in, and served idols that his father served, and worshipped them. And he forsook the Lord of the fathers, and walked not in the ways of the Lord. 1 John 5 says, Whosoever believeth that Jesus is the Christ is born of God, and every one that loveth him loveth him also that is begotten of him. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. For the love of God that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. 2 Kings 21:23. And the servants of Ammon conspired against him, and slew the king of his own house. And the people of the land slew all them that conspired against the king Ammon. And the people of the land made Joash the son king in his stead. Well guys, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, you can always comment below or send me an email. I'm going to put a couple links on the screen here. On the bottom right, I'm going to put the 2 Kings Bible study. Top left, I'm going to put the 1 Kings Bible study. And then the bottom left is going to be a video that YouTube thinks you're going to like. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it, hit the bell. You guys know what to do. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have yourself a great day.